Hello everyone, it's Mr. E here today, and I am showing off the new Relic Blade and a build. I would say build for the Relic Blade, but it's just a build. It's the Zealot build, but you just put the Relic Blade in it, and it works amazingly. The Relic Blade, for those of you who are about to ask that question, how good is it? Is it as good as Dueling Sword? No. Is it as good as Dagger? Probably not, right? These weapons, I think it would be unwise if Fat Shark put anything that powerful in the game. For right now, I think other weapons should be brought close, but maybe those weapons actually do need to be tuned down a little because they are just kind of like masters of all things right now. The one thing that this weapon does really, really well is cleave. It just absolutely annihilates everything in front of it. Let's go ahead and show off the weapon itself and what you should be statting it for. We dump mobility because who cares? And then damage and power output are just damage. Finesse is critical and weak spot damage, which is amazing. I did not think that there would be finesse on this weapon when I first saw it. I was like, oh, they'll have a cleave stat on there. But no, it actually gets headshot multipliers, which is nuts because it's so easy to hit headshots on this thing. And then it gets attack speed out of this too, almost 12% attack speed, which is crazy. This thing devours attack speed. The more attack speed you have, this thing gets multiplied crazy by that stat. And then heat management is literally just keeping us from overheating our weapon faster, and it drains faster once we do overheat. So the overheat mechanic you activate with weapon special, and it just kind of trickles up. Oh, sorry, I had it on. There we go. So it just sort of trickles up like that, and when you do hit enemies, it jumps up a little bit too. But we can do some things to nullify that, which, speaking of, we use cranial grounding. I think this is hands down the best blessing on the weapon, because it reduces your heat buildup by, remember the stack's 5 times, so it reduces it by 30% and increases your headshot damage or weak spot damage by 20%. That is awesome. So this is a great double buff. There's lots of other stuff on this weapon that could be very viable, but I think these two are the most viable. The game footage behind me you're seeing right now, it has Wrath, or does not have Wrath on it, and I was really feeling the need for that, for some extra cleave. Because, like, yeah, on, like, individual enemies, it's fine, but when you get into a situation where you're cleaving a horde, and you're, like, cleaving the horde, and you want to kill the Mauler or Maniac or whatever is in the crowd too, you really wish for that extra cleave. And that's what this weapon is all about, is cleaving and distributing that powered up heavy headshot onto as many weapons as possible. Okay, so let me talk about the weapon itself as far as its moveset. Now, this was my first introduction to the weapon, like, you know, was 2 days ago, and my first impression was this thing isn't going to be very good because I felt it was very clunky. The heavy one, this is heavy attack 1 and heavy attack 2, and it takes quite a while to pull them out, right? You see, if I cancel even a second early, I go into a light attack. So I thought that was like pretty much all it had to offer. And then I kept chaining heavies, and I found out there was a heavy attack 3 and a heavy attack 4, and that you actually just continue chaining on 3 and 4. And I was like, okay, well, this is a lot better. I can literally just like do this through the whole map, and you see how easy it is to hit headshots. And then I found out that light attack 1 and light attack 2 can be chained into heavy attack 3 and heavy attack 4. So I do heavy attack, well, there you go. Light attack 1, sorry. Light attack 1, light attack 2, heavy attack 3, heavy attack 4, and then the heavy attack 3 and heavy attack 4 continue chaining. But say you know your blade recharged midway through it. Well, you can just press charge when you're in this, and you'll continue chaining 3 and 4, so you won't lose the good part of the chain, and you'll just keep going right there. And yeah, you can see that like having this additional cleave allows me to hit like up through these targets and hit the other ones. That cleave is pretty much essential, I think, because you'll be hitting so many enemies in front of you. I know the enemies in this game are not very well spaced, but yeah. And you can see that I lasted quite a long time with my power up there, just because of that additional reduction in heat generation through the blessing that we have. Okay, so that's everything about the weapon itself. What are we pairing it with? Well, we're pairing it with a nice Chianti spearhead bolt gun. Duh. Every build that I make for the Zealot from here on out, until something is changed or something new comes out, it's going to have the spearhead bolt gun. It's going to have toughness, stamina with these 3, toughness, stamina regen, and combat ability regen as the blessings. That's just the best stuff right now. I don't know any other way to say it. So yeah, just use that. The only thing I'm not sure about is the perks on this weapon. Maniac seems good. Flak, you know, it's just use generalist stuff. This is not a weapon to run Havoc with. I mean, you could, but at high level Havoc, you're not going to want to bring this thing because there's just going to be too much armor and too much damage needs to go out, and it just doesn't excel at single target killing, which is the times where you really need your melee weapon is to eviscerate some crushers and stuff. So it's falling behind the dueling sword in that regard. Why do we have the bolt gun? Well, that goes to exactly what I was just saying. We've got the you know, a boss here, and this is a charged up crit headshot. Wow, that is not very much damage. Compare that to, oh sorry, I gotta reload. Okay, compare that to, right, we can half health a Plague Ogre, and this is without any other buffs on my character, like the Duelist buff. If I had back dodged him while he was coming at me, and then mag dumped him, he would be nearly dead, right, after those two. Actually, he would be dead after those two mags, because it multiplies it that much. And that's why we come over here, and we're taking these two nodes. This is bossing damage. This is absolutely for bossing with the bolter, because the Relic Blade is just not a good bosser. We come over here and we grab the fucking holy trifecta of Zealot. These are absolutely mandatory in pretty much every good Zealot build. If you're not using these, you are insane. Scourge gives us up to 30% crit. We will have this 100% of the time because it is so easy to trigger. The way that it triggers on this weapon is you got a horde of enemies, right? You charge into them, you light attack, and then you could do the second light attack or whatever, but like because that first crit bled all of them, then your next hit hits all of them and stacks it up to 30 for you. So like all those enemies are bleeding, and now I have 30% crit, and you can immediately tell the difference in my crit stat. Okay, so that is why we have that stuff up there. These two keep us super invincible, you know, just every build has them. Blades of Faith, it's the best. I don't know what they were thinking. This whole side of the tree is insane. Blades of Faith is not only your special picking, it is your gunner picking, right? You can just one-shot gunners with it, and it also allows us to, you know, our bolt is really slow to pull out, right? I could be like, I want to kill that flamer, okay, or I could be like, I want to kill that flamer. See the difference? So that is why we use the Blades of Faith for animation canceling there too. And over here we have Duelist. Duelist is cracked on every Zealot build, but especially on this build because it multiplies headshot damage, and we're always doing headshots. And unlike the Dueling Sword, where you are always constantly on the aggressive and you can just run around to enemies and be like, boom, 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 like stabbing them in the head, they might not even get an attack out on you. With this build, or with this blade, since you are charging these heavy, slow attacks like that, enemies are going to be running up to you while you're charging this, and they're going to be attempting to land attacks on you, but you just do a little slide dodge or dodge out of the way while you're charging the attack, and that triggers your Duelist, and then the split second later, they get the fucking pain of a lifetime delivered right upside their dome by this big sword. Then we come over here and grab these two. I mean, you have an extra point if you don't want to grab those and you go for Desperation, but I can't really say that there's a whole lot to do with an extra single point on this build. I think this is honestly pretty damn good for like 99% of players, and even if you are that 1% of players, you're probably playing Havoc where it's still really good. Because yeah, it can prevent a catastrophic fuck up. Benediction's amazing. Fury of the Faithful is perfect synergy with this blade, because not only does it make up for the blade's biggest weakness, which is its slow attack speed and its slow movement speed, it also gives us some nice guaranteed crits to start the combo off and get our Scourge stacked up. And it can help us in chunking crushers and stuff like that. Crushers are generally something we're pretty weak to with this. You can see here, I'm going to power out my blade, I'm going to go in with a crit hit, and a headshot doesn't even kill him. Right? If you did that with a Dueling Sword, that guy would be dead, and you'd be able to kill another half a crusher with the leftover damage, more or less. So yeah, we are kind of weak to crushers. So yeah, let's just take a little bit of help in dealing with them with Fury of the Faithful. Then we've got down here, we take Blazing Piety and Invocation of Death. Remember, we need to be hitting about 50 to 60% crit to reach that sweet spot, and we've got 30% here. We've got 0% on our weapon, we've got 5% from our class, and then we got 25% here, which brings us to 60% crit. That's the perfect number pretty much. And then Invocation of Death is triggered reliably enough. Remember, we can, anytime we're not getting a crit, we we'll have Fury of the Faithful to give us a guaranteed crit so we can keep this thing rolling. And then over here we've got attack speed. Attack speed is amazing and we should always look for more of it. And then a sustained assault just stacks 20% damage, really easy to get. Okay, so that is everything about the weapon, and like I said before, I don't think it's the best weapon in the game. That falls to dueling sword, and runner-up is dagger right now. Not really much you can do about that at the current state of the game, but I think it's definitely one of the top tier picks for Zealot currently. It's definitely better than like Thunderhammer, at least in my opinion. It just has much more generalized use, and you'll get some really high damage numbers playing with this thing. It's very easy to use. Just remember to do the light attack 1, light attack 2 into heavy attack 3, heavy attack 4 combo, and just rinse and repeat, and you'll have a good time. Okay, well, that's it for me. That is Mr. E out of here, and I will turn you over to past Mr. E, who's playing a game on the new map, Dark Communion, which is also an excellent map. I hope you enjoy. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Oh, like and subscribe. Alright, bye.
Hadron takes pride in her work, and for good reason. If only you were here to operate it. I'm no tech adept.
Where's my team? Come on, boys. Alright, I guess I'm the one who needs to push. All this. Oh, now they start killing gunners. Try to charge all the way the fuck in here. Get for standing by the door.
Fail the grandfather. He is forgiving. We are not. Ah, another ambush. Still playing the hit. To your corners. Take defensive positions and trust to the Emperor. Calm down, Augustine. You're not helping. Your death is at